Beloved, welcome back to the shop. As you know, we are knee-deep into the great struggle. Times are tough, so everyone appreciates a little bit of DIY. Now, DIY is becoming essential for me because Mrs. W and I have kind of kicked off 2025 as a no-spend year, or only on the essentials, because who knows what's coming. So today I'll be teaching you how we'll kick off a series of how to build your very own furniture with that classic Pacific Northwest style, craftsmanship style, using stuff you have around the house. So let's take a look at our material, and then we'll get into our cut sheet. Goodness, take a look at these beauties. 1x12 CVG fur. Not a knot in it. My goodness, is that not beautiful? You can't even buy stuff like this. Full dimension, so it's ready to plane down. We got 1x8 right here, fur as well, and 1x6. So everything we need. Let's start with these guys. I'm really curious to see what's underneath this dust, and this is going to be a real key feature of what we're building. Start your project with a cut sheet, kind of sketch out what it is that you want to build, and then figure out your material. We need 9 foot of 1x12, 11 feet of 1x8, 11 feet of 1x6. That's just rough. Gives us a little bit of extra, but what we want to make is we're going to be making the official Wranglerstar coffee table with the cutout Doug fir pattern. Now I've been working on this style of bench. It looks very, very cool. It'll have the two-piece, kind of the shaker style top, and storage inside. So very practical. So really unique, very cool, but very simple. So with the basic tools, you can make this. Very excited to see what's going to be underneath this. This is very dry. We can check the moisture here with our moisture meter. We're high humidity right now. It's pouring down rain, so it's showing 18. So that's where it's going to be the wettest right here. If we get in the field, you know, we're single digit, 9. So very stable, very dry. I think this whole piece is usable all the way to the edges. This is a 10-footer. We need 9 feet of 1x12. So we'll just plane down the whole thing. I bought this planer a couple years ago, and man, I'll tell you, if you have a sawmill, you have to have a planer because everything is rough sawn, and to get it into usable material, what am I doing here? It's a ton of work by hand, and this will just plane it right down right away. So I've got a vacuum cleaner I'm going to put on here with a bag so it doesn't get so dusty. I'd usually do this outside, but it's raining cats and dogs out there, so with a good bag, a good vacuum, this actually works pretty good for a low-budget dust collector. This is why your 2x4s are not actually 2x4s. So 1x material is actually 3/4. So when it's originally cut, back in the day, they would have cut it to a full 1 inch. As it shrank, from drying out, and then just the smoothing process, or the planing and jointing process, reduces it down to 3/4. That's what you finish with. So the rough guys do saw it that full thickness. So this one right here, look at that, that's almost 1 inch. So it's 15/16. So it was originally cut at 1 inch. It's dried, it's lost that. Now we have quite a bit to work with. So what we want to do is plane both sides and get it perfectly smooth, and then ultimately finish at 3/4. So seldom do I use this. Every time I break it out, I have to remember how to use it again. So we have 179 cuts. So this is going to turn faster, so it's going to be for a better finish. And we have, let's see, removal gauge. Okay, so we want to come down to that. We'll start at that 15/16, 7/8, and just do a kind of a test pass. I may need to sharpen these planer blades too, we'll see. Let's be conservative here. Looks like we lost our dust collector there. Put a little too much strain on it. It's beyond me why they would put the perfect sawdust catcher right there in the end. I have a pair of side cutters that I think will take care of that if we get any more stoppages. But take a look at this. My goodness, that is a full 12-inch clear vertical grain, not a joint in it. So special. A little thick right there, a little thin there. I bit off a little more than I think I wanted to chew with that, so I went a full crank. I'm going to go a half a crank down until we get closer because there's some inconsistencies. You know how the sawmills are. But this is absolutely stunning. Take a look at this, gentlemen. Beautiful. Nothing, just nothing like clear vertical grain Douglas fir, and a 1x12 too. Look at that pitch pocket. I like to incorporate these imperfections. That's a lot more interesting to have that in a piece of furniture, but look at that. Just finished a little over, another one. A little over 3/4, so there's some room to hand plane. We've got some shake defects, actually all the way through here. This is all unusable, all the way through to about right here. So not as a 1x12. Now this can be 1x4 here, 1x8 here, not a problem, but to have a full 12, then that really stops right there. So that's not going to be usable for us in this particular piece, but will be others. So we have to come back here, and what's this? Is that a defect as well? Could be. That's why it's so rare to get 1x12. That's why everything's laminated. They'll take smaller pieces and then finger joint them, glue them together. But to get a one piece like this is truly unique. I don't know that this is. No, that's not a defect at all. That's just a growth ring, a pitch pocket. So that's actually quite nice. We'll include that. So I think everything here is for us. Per our cut sheet, we need 4 at 18, so let's start with that. Two, 3, and 4. All right, gentlemen, of the 2x12, this is 4 of the 6 pieces that we needed. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get 1x12 out of this because of all that defect. But I'll bet there's a 1x4. I bet there's probably 2 1x4s in there, so we can save that for a different part. But we're going to have to plane down one more 2x12 because I need 60 more inches. What do you think is going to be hiding in this beauty? Wow, this is going to be a really pretty one. A lot of red in this one. Oh, I just can't get over it. It absolutely gives me the fizz. made a couple passes, all was going well, until I got to the center, and then it really started to bog down. And so I backed off the blade, ran it through a second time, and it's binding really bad. And I see all these rub marks here. So something is rubbing and not cutting. I've got some new blades for that. It could need new blades. I did do a lot of planing on some other projects, but or I could sharpen them. But let me know in the comments, have you seen that before? I don't know about these planes. They're all new to me. The other end didn't get touched. It could be thicker. It's probably thicker here in the center. But even so, I was taking it very, very conservative, and it was binding up. So I need to get to the bottom of this and find out what these rub marks are. Let me know in the comments. Until then, that's about as far as I can go here. Very strange. Okay, let me know in the comments if you know what that is. Our next video, we'll pick up where we left off. Maybe I'll show you how to sharpen the blades. There's a really simple way of sharpening the blades on these that you can do and save a ton of money. So that might be a video in itself. So let me pull this apart, take a look at it. I'll read the comments, and we'll pick up where we left off. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.